What's up, guys? Since they announced that the new Arc thingy, the Arc 1.5 whatever relaunch on the new engine will wipe all official, a lot of people decided to quit. Same with me, so I wanted to like put as much knowledge in this last video to help people out who are playing on official settings, in case they want to continue, and maybe stuff will also carry over to the new Arc, so this might help some people. I'll try to like work as much when it comes to foundation support and snaps in this video as possible. Try to put as much knowledge in as I have very quickly. I will not cover stuff like crafting and war room, since this is like highly individual and everybody builds them differently. But for stuff like foundation support, in my opinion, there are specific ways you should do it and specific ways you shouldn't. So let me like start real quick. So the first thing is how do snaps work. Everybody knows if you have a structure, like a foundation, and you put the next one to it, it's snapped. This command, by the way, is DebugStructures. Use it and you have these debug menus, and you know that this is the foundation C93 and this is C96, and you see they're snapped to each other with the yellow text, which comes in handy when you want to see if stuff is actually snapped or not. You see, this is snapped, this works as foundation support, like you can see, everybody knows this. What most people already don't know is to snap stuff, it doesn't have to be snapped. Like for example here, I just placed this foundation up, this is not snapped, you see this is even a little bit shifted to the right. But it should, when I place a ceiling, this ceiling is snapped to all 3 floors. And now this works as a foundation support as well, and this is snap point. So basically what this tells us is, as soon as you have structures being snapped to each other, this carries over foundation support. So now what allows us to do is to build foundation support on uneven ground without using pillars. Everybody probably had their first uneven base with pillars like this and had the foundation support built like this. This of course works, but this is very bad, because as soon as you like start building the actual base, you have so many blind spots, and if you have like 5 rows of pillars, you have so many blind spots, and somebody can just get below the floor and blow up everything without you really being able to defend it. So yeah, so the best way, then the next thing what people do since the release of Extinction is they use triangles, and snapping up with triangles works perfectly fine. This is so good. I don't know why they didn't implement it with normal foundations. But yeah, since a triangle either has a snap point, like this, or let's say it like this. You can either place it, or you can place a wall, place a ceiling, place a pillar, place a triangle, and you can always do one of these. Like this always works. And if you keep the wall, it's perfectly snapped. It looks beautiful, right? Now, snapping up with triangles works fine. Snapping down is horrible, since you always shift it. Like I couldn't figure out a good way to do it. And what's also bad, if you build a big base, you have twice the amount of structures than you would have with a normal sized foundation. So this is basically the way to go if you want to have a kinda lag-free experience. So then, to go higher, what you should always do is use a wall, because this is like the precise measurement and has a bigger snap box, and it's always consistent. When going down with double doors, it can go a little bit lower and stuff like that. So I would always use a wall, place a pillar, place a ceiling, place a pillar, of course, place a foundation. This works. You don't want this, of course. Now you have to find a way to snap this back again. Most people on official just use a stair, and this works perfectly fine. If you snap up, the thing when snapping down with a stair, I can demonstrate over here. You have 2 snap points. On one side, on 2 sides of the foundation, you have 2 snap points. And on the others, you have 1. This shifts the foundation support. Like if you use the upper one, you shift the foundation support to a side. Not sure which one it actually is, if it's left or right, but you definitely snap it to a side, which isn't a big thing if you lower it once or twice. But if you come to like huge spaces, like carpet spamming a whole big lunar island, at one point you cannot snap a fortnight down anymore, because like the double door will start more or less like this in the middle of a foundation, and then it doesn't like this, then like this more after a while, and then it doesn't snap anymore. So what you have to do is, or what you do is you have a precise measurement and you use pillars. But now how do I lower with a pillar if this doesn't work? You have a foundation, you place the table again, you place the ceiling, fence support. You can pick up the ceiling again, the table again, wall, ceiling. Always need to make sure to use the lower one in a way that this notch on the top is there. 1, 2, place it. And now you will see, if you place the wall, this is exactly half a wall. And you reconnect it by using a fence foundation. You look at the bottom one, and you press the toggle fists key. Default, it's binded to Q. Then it snaps up, and you place it. You see metal fence foundation. It carries the snap, works. It's 2 over this foundation. This works to snap this stuff, but this also works to add additional snap points to the flooring as long as it's not more than 2 walls or 2.5 walls, I'm not sure. This way, then you can just look at the foundation, place a fence, and this is the snap. This is like ideal if you want to build an asteroid, for example, maybe, or an ocean pillar, so you have multiple layers snapped to the floor. And what I used it for is if you have a double door tower, you just go like 2 walls up, place the ceiling, place a fence foundation up there, replace the double door. So you just demolish this, replace it, and you see now you would have way more snaps. So if people try to illegal racer your stuff, it like takes way more C4 to blow. It's way stronger this way. Only downside is turrets shoot harder through it, which in my opinion is even an upside because they're still annoying and might not shoot on only player targets and so on. So in my opinion, this is even an upside, not even a downside. But like for a wall or something where you want as much damage as possible, this might be a downside. Then let's continue with carrying foundation support over things like too high above ground, or even on Gen 1 between biomes or wherever you want on the same map, you carry the snap point. On smalls, you do this to like buy more time, because every time a C4 blows, every time you try to blow C4, the server recalculates all snap points, because Ark is just a great game. And that way, this causes like so much lag if you have a lot of stuff snapped together, and it just takes longer to drop stuff. And this is important if you want to use, for example, or to defend against an illegal racer, because they would have to blow so much more, and it takes so much longer for them to blow it. What you do is you line up the racer with the foundations here, and you can use a fence support later. I'll show this later. And you look that you would place the fence foundation on the edge where it would usually snap, like this. Let's see if it worked. 39, 39. Is this 39? This is 39. Perfect. This worked. Now you can just have foundation support wherever. You just have to reline the racer again. So let me show it that it works. It should be more than 4 foundations. It should be fine. Okay, now we have to turn the racer. You can use another method later, I'll show you later, to like get rid of the guessing part a little bit, or like to make the guessing part a little bit easier. But I know I'm just too lazy to do it right now. Yeah, you can use the snap anywhere method, one of the other videos, to do this. So yeah. Let's just do it like this. If you now try to snap down from this, you see it doesn't work. So you have to have a wall or a ceiling above the racer ceiling, because like we know, Ark is perfect. Yes, it is. Of course, didn't move the racer far enough. So let's line this back up again. This could work. 43, 43. Perfect. Worked first try. And now let's get rid of this, so prove that I'm not like adding additional snaps. Oh, this foundation. Ah, see. This carries the snap, this carries the foundation support, everything. Works to carry it over to high above ground if you want to connect like the other lunar islands to your main lunar island, or if you want to connect stuff like Corner to Luna, or I don't know, 1990 to Cube or whatever. It basically just causes more lag. I don't know if you want this. For us, this came in handy. So yeah, this is like a way you can do. And last thing is, if somebody built foundation support out of triangles, let's try to make one. The problem usually is that it goes like everywhere, and you don't want to only connect in a straight line. So let's say you started your ceilings like from here. And you have to snap them down here. As you can see, this wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. No connection to the triangle. So what you do in this scenario is that's why I suggest you use text ceilings. You grab fence support here, and now you have to eyeball that it's in the center of the ceiling. As you can see, like if you have in this grayish area on the right side of the ceiling, you can see that it's centered to the ceiling. That's why I say you should use tech support. Now you just have to guess how centered it is, which can take a few tries. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think this should work. Yeah. Now you see this is connected. I can demolish this connection, and this works. If you have a different height because somebody fucked up again, what you can do is just use another layer like this and snap it up with a fence foundation. This then even works however many walls you have above. So this adds like another layer if you have it uneven and like half a wall higher or whatever. And yeah, you can also snap this down, as you can see here. So this basically allows you to build perfect foundation support everywhere, more or less. There are some techniques that work for some people, but for me they don't. So look, I can place this foundation, and then what for some people works is you use there's like one of the pillar snap points, like this, and then they can place it. For me, this never worked. I don't know why it does for some people. But yeah, you might want to try this if it works on your map. I couldn't figure out why this works on some maps. Like, I know it works on some parts of Valguero. Like I said, I have no clue why. Maybe somebody can explain this in the comments. But you might want to give this a try if you want to build a Valguero tree. I see this being done there. Maybe they also patched it meanwhile. I don't know. But yeah, what I came up with this is if you want to add a hedge frame, let's say here. Let's put this. You can see you can't place it. Let's hope that I eyeballed this correctly. Yeah, like you place this construction, which you would normally use to place a floating turret, and now you can place this hedge frame because I think it shares the same snap point. This is also why this should work. But yeah, you can see this works perfectly fine. You now have it halfway in the mesh, which is very useful if you want to like build a Skynet inside of a center pearl or other spots where you need Skynets inside and want to have it fully clean, also with going halfway in the mesh. You can also continue this on basically forever. This is also something I wanted to show. And yeah, I think that's basically all. If you have any questions, write them down in the comments. I don't know, I'll probably answer you or help me out or add me on Discord.